Yeah, welcome to an episode of the Round Circle with your host, the Fifth General, Zacchaeus and Cinema Escapes. What's good? What's good?
What it do? What it
Hey,
do?
it's good to be here. Hey, it's good to be here. Yeah.
All right, another day, another episode. Let's get into some quick hip hop news. We're gonna be talking about a couple current events today. So recently this week, a lot of reports going on. Pretty much all hip hop sources and all news sources, local or national, are talking about a recent finding in the Jam Master Jay killing back in October 30th, 2002. So they have arrested two men. They recently have info on one of the men that they say is alleged of the crime that took place. This is an article according to written and posted by pix11.com. And they said that two law enforcement. Sorry. Let me start over. They obtained a photo Tuesday of Jam Master Jay's accused killer, Carl Jordan Jr. Two law enforcement sources confirmed the picture's authenticity. Jordan, 36, is accused of firing two bullets at the popular DJ from the iconic rap group Run DMC. On October 30th, 2002, Jam Master Jay's real name was Jason Mizell. On Halloween Eve that year, two men were buzzed into Mizell's recording studio on Merrick Boulevard in Jamaica, Queens, as the DJ was playing video games with some of his assistants. One of them hugged Mizell before he was shot, the lethal bullet hitting the musician in the head. Federal authorities and the NYPD accused Jordan and alleged accomplice Ronald Washington with murder and narcotics trafficking Monday, nearly 18 years after Mizell was killed. Officials said Monday that Mizell's murder was drug-related. In court papers, the feds wrote that in addition to his music career, in between 1996 and 2002, Mizell was involved in transporting kilogram quantities of cocaine in the Eastern District of New York and elsewhere. Monday night, the DJ's family and bandmate Daryl DMC McDaniels released statements reacting to the break in the case. All right, so this is recent news. It's been 18 years since his death, his murder, and I would say, not so much of opinion, but I would say that there was a lot of things surrounding this, rumors and associations and affiliations that he might have been a part of. Or not been a part of, because we're talking about a studio and stuff like that, and offices, and people are in and out, and so if this is one step closer to getting justice for his murder, then so be it. There's not going to be a lot of talking going on, but the fact that it's been 18 years and we have a new alleged suspect speaks volumes. We still don't have the full, updates about, the murders of Tupac and the murders of Biggie. You know what I'm saying? And that was 25 years ago or so. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
If this is going to be the very thing, then so be it. Any other opinions on this, Zacchaeus?
Yeah, I remember when Jam Master Jay died and everything. It just it's amazing how it took so long that took so many years just to get to the niche of the murderers, the two killers, because it was I seen documentaries on it, and I was wondering when are they gonna catch the two killers, because I don't know the whole depth of Jay, right? Because I know he's from Run DMC. That's been a legend from Run DMC, right? So to me, Jay was just like a cool, I guess I don't know him, but to me, it was made to me to seem like he had a cool spirit about him, right? He had no drama surrounding him. So when I heard he was in Hollis, Queens, and he was still in the studio in Hollis, I was like, okay. He didn't move out of Hollis, Queens, but he stayed in Hollis, Queens. Right. But the thing is that it was suspect. Why did two people came and just start firing at him? That's what I scratch my head. I still scratch my head till this day on that.
Right.
I still scratch my head on that because I'm just like why Jay? Jay didn't never to me was into no drama and no to know. You never hear his name in the papers before this thing happened. You never hear his name. You never see Jam Jay caught up into any drama, anything like that, as far as drama in the newspapers. So I'm like, so when this happened to me, it was like I in my mind, I thought it was like a hey, oh he's Jam Jay, let's get him. He got money. I thought it was like a jealousy kind of, like a jealousy kind of, like, oh, I'm gonna get him because he got it. Crabs in a barrel kind of thing. I'm thinking is that, I have no idea what Jay did. I don't know. Why does he deserve that? Why? And he doesn't deserve that.
Cinema, anything you got to say on this?
I just hope the family and the rest of the group find peace and justice, and closure, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, it's been 18 years, and it's like, icon, a Hall of Fame, a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame group.
Yeah.
And it's like, we were talking about the justice system last week. It's like 18 years and you finally got a suspect.
Yeah.
Come on. And it's like 2002, we had way better technology than when Biggie and Pac were murdered, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, kudos to whoever kept this up there, to, keep this, that it still was pursued. I most of all, I just want everyone who loved them to get closure.
Absolutely.
Because that's haunting, not getting closure.
What thing about justice is that when you want to make sure it's the right person, I would hate for it to be the wrong guy. You feel me? I don't know everything here. We're just reading the news, but I would hate for it to be the wrong man, or if they already had somebody locked up after all this time, was that the wrong man? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the thing about this.
Right. You want them to do their due diligence and correctly, and trials and things, they're drawn out. So this is just the beginning of a process, and those things are drawn out. People are like, oh, that's just, stuff's just going to trial because, they give each side the time to put the evidence together. First, you got to go through to see a grand jury to see if there's going to be a trial. And then you get that time to put together your case. And then we actually finally have the trial, Yeah. So, we don't know how long this is going to be. It might be drawn out, but, some sort of closure, because you can't bring anyone back. So it's not going to be like that, but some sense of closure. That's what I hope everyone gets out of this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next topic. So this week, NBA playoffs have started. Started what? Sunday?
Monday.
Monday. There we go. So, all first rounds right now. We got Portland versus LA. We got Houston Rockets against Oklahoma City Thunder. Denver Nuggets versus the Utah Jazz. LA Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks on the West. Now on the East, we got the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Orlando Magic. Indiana Pacers versus the Miami Heat. Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Toronto Raptors versus Brooklyn Nets. Cinema, I'm going to let you go first. You could pick who you want first as far as who you want to predict coming out of their protective series. Who you got starting on the West? Who you got coming out of the first round?
I definitely have the Clippers coming out over the Mavs.
Yes.
Because Luka's he's the truth. but it's his first step into the playoffs. You know, it's a different. The playoffs is a different animal.
Yeah.
And the Clippers got too many vets with playoff experience and a championship coach
and a champion. Kawhi.
Yeah, championship
wow,
coach.
Wow.
Yep, and a champion.
Yeah.
And a leader. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I see that.
Yeah.
Lakers and Portland, I have to watch.
Yeah.
And then Rondo was cleared yesterday or today to play.
Right.
But he's not. He's as of tonight. I don't think he's playing. As we're recording
As
that
we're
game
recording this
going
tonight.
on right now.
Right. This is August 8th. We're recording this on August 18th. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be up Friday.
Yeah.
So it'll be more progress. My heart wants Portland to win.
Yeah.
But my head saying LeBron, Dwight, especially if Rondo comes back. I think, you know, I know people like to hate on LA, but LA is kind of stacked too. You know, even though the Clippers are more stacked than them, LA, out of the Jazz and Denver, they're not going to like this, but I feel Denver, I feel that Jokic losing that weight and the way they hurt last year after that loss, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
They're a team that's dangerous that no one's looking at. So I think they're coming out of that. And what's the other series?
Rockets and the Thunder.
That's too close to call.
Yeah.
Number one, Westbrook's out for the first two games.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're used to playing with him. And he's taking a lot of pressure off of Harden. And it's like, it's not that Harden's not the G that he is and stuff. People talk about that in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he hasn't had help.
Yeah.
So they would people start triple teaming him, even go to State.
Right. Right.
Just, you know, he's gonna, and even with that, he gets his, but it's harder. So, you know, it just slows him down. You know, they just wear him down. But it's like, I'll pick the Rockets anyway because OKC, they're good, but I don't see them going deep. You know, it's like when Kobe was playing Shumpert during the Linsanity thing, and Shumpert burnt him for 3 quarters, and then Kobe turned to Shump and said, "You had a great game, young man," and torched him in the fourth. in the garden. You know, it's one of those situations. It's like, okay, when the Rockets wake up, number one, you got 3 people who used to play for that team they're playing now. You know they want to eliminate OKC. Westbrook, Green, and Harden. It's some personal stake in that. Chris Paul makes OKC better. He has made OKC better, but you know, I don't.
Yeah,
he's a Hall of Famer, but I think he's gonna go down like Ewan, getting close but never having the chance to.
Oh man!
And it's like it's harder for him to get there than it was for Ewan, because Ewan did get there twice in his career. One time he was hurt,
but no cigar. Yeah.
And they went back to Houston up and dropped 2 games. In Game 7, Starks laid a house of bricks. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to the East.
Before we get there, we'll all go there together. Zacchaeus, what you looking at on the West? Like who you out of those matchups?
Well, I was taking my time with trying to catch up to it and everything. So I was thinking about trying to catch up to the LA Lakers.
Yeah, and they're playing right now. They're playing right now.
So I'm trying to catch up to them and see so I'm pushing for the LA Lakers.
Yeah,
I'm doing that.
Who you got out of the Rockets and the Thunder?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with the Rockets on this one, but I'm gonna see. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna check it out because this is the this is the beginning of the playoffs. But
Yeah.
That's yeah. So
I mean,
I'm just.
It could go either
I'm
way.
Just go with the Rockets, but
exactly, because it could
never,
go either
know.
way. Well, we're just basing it off terms of
Yeah,
matchup on paper. Know. Who look good on paper to win? Because like I'm gonna let you get back to it. Now, what you think about Denver? What you think about the Nuggets and the Jazz?
Well, well, you see, the Nuggets. I'm going for how they played the last.
Yeah,
game.
Nuggets,
yeah. The Nuggets are looking.
They're looking good.
They're looking good. So I'm gonna just stick with my Nuggets. So
yeah,
never Nuggets because they're looking good for right now. But you never know. But they're looking good though. So far, so good. So far, so good. And we just holding back and see because this is interesting. This is although this thing is been a crazy year. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna wait and see how the NBA players take off. But the Nuggets are looking good though. I'm just gonna say that. Huh. But what happened last year? Yeah.
All right, Clippers and the Mavericks. Who you got out of that?
I'm gonna go with my LA Clippers.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the LA Clippers for that one. Yeah.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
The Clippers and the Mavs could very well go down to a game 7. Just based off this, the NBA bubble has no home court advantage. So there's no I'm going to LA game 1 and then I'm going to Dallas game 2. There's none of that. There's no there's everybody's playing on the same court.
Right. So it could be either or, yeah.
Exactly. And that goes for all teams. But on paper, Dallas looks good. But the Mavericks look good. But you know what? KP getting ejected from the 2 technicals game 1. That really put the game on the Clippers' favor because the Clippers, in my opinion, I felt were playing pretty lazy. But I think the Clippers, due to experience, can come out of that one. That's my call on that one. But I think that could very well go to a game 7. But I'll probably say Clippers in 6.
Yeah.
Let's see, the Nuggets and the Jazz. I got the Nuggets winning because Utah does not have Mike Conley. It makes it a little harder it puts a little more pressure on Donovan Mitchell to run the offense and still try to lead them to win every game. So there's a lot of pressure on Donovan Mitchell. The whole point of getting Conley was so that you could have Donovan just focus more on being the 2 guard. But there's a lot of responsibility on Donovan this time around.
And he dropped 57 in the loss of game 1.
Exactly. He did a lot. And they still lost because it just wasn't enough for that game. And Conley, the reason why he's not there is because he went to go with the birth of his child. But when he comes back into the bubble, he has to do a 4-day quarantine. Mm-hmm. So he won't be able to play until they said either game 3 or game 4 the latest. No, game 3 the latest, game 4 the earliest.
The earliest, yeah.
But it all depends when he flies back to the bubble. He has to fly back to the bubble. The sooner the better in terms of that goes. So
before the quarantine, he has to have 7 negative tests too.
Jesus Christ. I didn't know that. 7 negative tests?
Right. That's how you get in the bubble.
7
negative tests, then the quarantine.
Wow.
7.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, wow. But if one person gets in with it, the season and the year is over.
Wow.
Got to think about that. That's why I think the NBA did the best with that, but continue.
Yeah. Portland and Lakers.
Okay.
Trailblazers. Yeah, wow.
I got the Lakers taking this series, but guess what? I have them fighting to win. So I got a possible game 7 on this series.
Mm-hmm. Okay, a game 7.
Yeah,
Clippers and Lakers. Wow.
I got Lakers in 7 for the Trailblazers. I got the Lakers possibly Wow, you know what? As I'm watching, 49 seconds. Looks like Portland is going to take game 1.
Wow.
Wow, I was wrong about this. I had a conversation with one of my homeboys.
That's what
Yeah.
It's like Portland's hot, but I have to see some games. But,
Yeah.
I don't mind making a hot take because I said my heart says Portland, my head says Lakers. But you never know. Dame is on fire, and you got to keep in mind. They've only played 8 games going into the playoffs. Everybody's rested.
Right, the
It's
Lakers
not like
were
they're
rested.
coming off 82.
And you know,
right.
I thought, sometimes that could work against you or work for you because sometimes you're burnt out. But then for the ones who are well rested, they're a little rested too long. And so I didn't see, I saw Portland getting game 2, but I guess they're going to get game 1. Okay, now this makes the playoffs interesting because I'm going to still stick with my prediction. I still got the Lakers taking this series. But when the underdog wins game 1, it really does set a particular tone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean because they took it, they're going to take it all, but it just sets a particular tone. Let's go to the East. Yeah. Let's go to the East. We'll do it very quickly. All right. All right. So let's go to the East. For Milwaukee and Orlando, I got Milwaukee taking it, even though Orlando won game 1. But I got Milwaukee still taking that series. Cinema, who you got?
Me too. I got Milwaukee too. The Bucks. The Bucks. Hands down.
I don't care how many games Orlando takes in this series.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot beat Milwaukee.
Yeah.
They can't beat Milwaukee 4 times. And number 1, that's a layoff situation too. Giannis didn't play the last game, and rhythm.
Yeah.
So that's all that is. That might be what's up with the Lakers too. When you take like the time off, Orlando, great future if their front office doesn't mess it up again. But right now, I would even say Milwaukee in 5. That's
this should be a quick decision. The Raptors or the Nets?
Raptors.
Absolutely.
Raptors easy.
Yeah. Easy. Listen,
might be a sweep.
You got a Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Yeah. The Raptors are taking this.
Hold on. And other starters didn't come in the bubble either.
That too. They don't even have Karis LeVert.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they got my man who's nice in there, but
right.
It's not enough.
No, it's not.
But it's like, half the team couldn't get in there, or they were injured, or or they're coming back,
Exactly.
Yeah, see? Yeah, the small forward.
Exactly. Yeah. Wait, I take that back. No, LeVert is there. Sorry. But listen, but he can't do this all alone. Right.
Okay.
See, this ain't like when you're playing a season game.
Right.
You're playing a team, and like game 2, y'all kind of know what you're going to do. By the time at game 4, you're just running it, and execution's going to win because you all know the schemes, the playbooks. That's what series are totally different than busting somebody in the city and going to the city that night because they don't got a chance to retaliate unless it's a back-to-back,
Mm-hmm.
And you can't make adjustments. By game 3 or 4, you kind of know what the other team's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, and then unless they have to draw up something new. So,
yep.
With that said,
Celtics
and game 1, yeah.
Congratulations for getting Durant his bonus.
Yeah.
But y'all gotta make an early exit.
So
I did.
Celtics.
This might be his last team he's on anyway.
No, it's not.
No, I don't know. Well, Celtics and 76ers.
Celtics.
I got the Celtics.
Celtics. Okay.
Cinema takes the Celtics.
Yeah.
Boston.
What do I do? Boston. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Miami and Indiana. Who you got?
I got Miami. And that's not even a popular pick. Yeah, pick who you picking, but I got Miami.
Okay.
Butler and Iggy. Number 1, Iggy's a champion, a Finals MVP.
Yeah.
That in the locker room, For me, Miami's my sleeper team in the East
Mm-hmm.
that can come and mess up what we expect to happen. They're one of the teams because they have a mix of veterans and youth.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
It's the perfect storm to just shock the world. They have the potential of the Pistons who beat the Lakers out of nowhere. That's the potential that's in that locker room. Like,
Dang.
you know, when the Pistons got that final piece on the trade and had that run, and plus Miami's been hot.
Yeah.
You know, they've been hot in the bubble.
They have.
And
So-
Jimmy's in everybody's face. Like, what? I ain't come here to make friends. He took that charge on Chris Paul, knocked because Chris Paul was messing with the teammate, charged in him through the chicken wing on purpose to send a message.
Mm.
And I know the Sixers missed that, even though they don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why they pushed Kawhi and him to 7. Jimmy Butler.
Oh, Kawhi, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Last year.
Last year, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Who you got, Zacchaeus, out of Miami and Indiana?
Well, first I was.
No, pick your team. Don't worry about what I'm saying. Make your pick. That's just how I feel because, you know, I got stake in it because I ride with Butler.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Oh no, yeah.
I ride with Jimmy.
Well, you know what? He played very good. Like, I like the way how he played, Butler. I was really looked the way how he played though. So.
But Indiana's not no scrub team. With all that said, they're good, and they've been balling out too.
Well, because at first beginning I was just like, I'm going with Indiana because I see how Indiana played.
Yeah, but there's still Oladipo over there.
Yeah, you know. So
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm on the fence with this one. I don't know who's gonna take it.
Right.
I see this going Game 7.
I see that going.
Yeah.
I see this series going 7. Like I'm saying,
they're almost
Indiana ain't
equal.
no slouch. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm picking Miami because I'm picking Iggy and Jimmy. Because
there's an experience. There's an experience on Miami that I believe Miami could take it because there's an experience on that side.
Right.
But I think
on Indiana.
Right, but on paper they're close. Yeah, because on paper they're close.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, man.
It's gonna come down to we're familiar with each other. How do we take the next step?
Yeah.
And you got a Finals MVP coming off the bench for you.
Yo, but we need some close games though. Yeah. We don't need no sweeps. Although the sweep will probably be the Raptors and
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. But other than that, I don't think anybody else is getting swept.
Yeah. Imagine you beat somebody and then the next thing you come out of the game and you're chilling and you're watching them pack and leave the bubble.
Zacchaeus, what was you about to say, Zacchaeus?
I looked up. Oh man, I looked up Butler. I looked up Butler as a really experienced forward, small forward.
Yeah,
so he's coming up. Because I've seen him play before, like maybe about twice, and I said that brother's coming up, man. Butler's coming up. Yeah,
he been the truth since Chicago. He just ain't been in good systems. And, you know, even though he liked Thibodeau didn't know how to utilize him. Like in Philadelphia, they utilized him and it woke him up to like another level. And then he's been balling out in Miami all year. You know, he's been balling out because he don't care about being the number one option. He comes to ball. So you're not dealing with ego. He just likes his teammates to work hard. So that's the place for him because, you know, you're playing for Pat Riley and Spoelstra. You're working hard. You're doing the fitness thing. You're lean. They do the body fat stuff down there. You're at your peak. That's why when LeBron and them were there, you know, that's where LeBron got that habit of keeping his body when he was in Miami, you know?
Oh, yeah?
It gave Wade more years, you know, than another player who took the hits and stuff he did add because, you know, nutrition is a part of their training in Miami and conditioning.
Conditioning, yeah.
Yeah, and that's Pat Riley. You know, he's a championship coach, championship executive. But they wouldn't let him do what he needed to do in New York. But that's another story.
Well, I think this is probably the most interesting playoffs because everything is in the bubble. The seedings kind of don't matter in terms of home court advantage and stuff like that. But it's all going to come to about matchups. And I mean, the playoffs are always about that, obviously. But with this one, no home court, you don't have your crowd. And your crowd helps.
Right. So if you're a bull like Jimmy Butler, because he's inspired, like Jimmy Butler got there and they were complaining, and they were like, "What's the noise from the room?" And this is before a workout start, and they open the door and he has full on sweat because he's dribbling the ball in his room. If that dude comes there that hungry, and the series comes down to that, I'm betting on him.
Yeah.
Because they ain't no crowd, they ain't no, it's a, they say whole new game. It is. Yeah. Because you're gonna have to dig in, and if you can't dig in as a team, you're gone. So a lot of the favorites, it's like we'll see who could do adversity without getting the lift of the crowd.
All right.
Let me ask you something. I'm gonna ask all y'all the same thing. With the way things are going with the whole pandemic rules and social distancing rules and stuff like that, is it possible that when the season starts next season, it's definitely things have been changed around with when their season will start because everything's been pushed back? Can you possibly see them still having an NBA bubble? Maybe not like this one, but a regional, like by region bubble. You think this could still happen in the start of next season?
You go, Zacchaeus. You go. Then I'll go.
Well, everything changing and constantly keep changing. We don't know, but it might. I don't know if we can go back to full circle,
right?
Because let's face it, it's still here.
Yeah,
this corona thing is still here,
right?
So I don't think it will go back to full circle. But maybe it'll take time, but it's still here, and I'm thinking that because of that, the players might be able to gain immunity to it, meaning that it's here. You just gotta live with it and flow with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Cinema, what you think?
Same thing. I think the danger is the travel.
Yeah,
because that's what's happening when a lot, they isolate people from baseball immediately.
Right.
But by eliminating travel, I think the NBA had the best solution. I think you just make a bubble, make it bigger. All teams are there, and you just deal with it. You have to. Everyone got to go in one bubble because when you do regional bubbles, every team's gonna eventually have to play each other anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
That's right. True. So just make it one bubble. Because once you bring travel into it, you bring risk.
Now, they're going to need multiple courts because...
Yeah, they're going to have to build.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I think they should be building in that bubble while that bubble's going on. But then again, the WNBA bubble's right there, so I bet you they're going to just use those courts because the WNBA season's going to be over by the time their season starts.
Yeah.
So I think they have enough space. And so if the season goes right and then you schedule the WNBA to come in when they go out, you'll be fine. Because those bubbles are all right there. And then soccer's going to have a bubble too. Pro soccer.
Yeah.
I think that's smart. I don't know why baseball didn't just go to Florida and make a bubble situation there where travel's light, where you travel to the game. All the teams are down in Florida when they do Grapefruit League. There's no audience. You could play games on those things. Going to the stadiums, traveling the way, because I know you do series, but it's so much of a danger with travel. Because you touch something, this thing lives on the surface for a day or two, as far as we've been told. So, you touch it, you pick it up, you don't wash your hands. A lot of the thing is because people being nasty and wash their hands. I don't understand, but 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 that's what I'm saying. It's the safest thing to just put them all in a bubble. Whoever it is. The whole thing is the teams, like, let's say, Golden State ain't a scrub team. They just were hurt.
Yeah.
They didn't have Clay.
Yeah,
that
superstar.
They're going to, right. These guys have been playing, and then they're going to have a turnaround. The champion's whoever's in the finals is going to have a turnaround right into training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State is going to have an early run at the season at these teams that are tired. If the Knicks could put something together, God, Jesus, help us all.
Yeah, because they was because they were saying that next season is likely to start in December, like Christmas that time.
Right, because the finals is probably going to end September, October. If we go 7-game series, we're looking deep into October. If we're looking shorten, it'll shorten because we're about to have the lottery, then we got to have the draft quickly in between.
Exactly, because the lottery is on the 20th of this month,
right?
And then the draft itself is going to be in like late September or early October. So I got to get my dates for that, but
it's going to be right after the finals.
Right after the finals, exactly. Right after the finals.
Right, so you're gonna have the draft. It's gonna probably be digital like the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The most, like the NFL is dangerous because it's the full contact of that. That's, I'm just hoping I hope somebody just knows something I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
But as far as the bubble, I think that's the solution till you start getting control, and it's like because you're gonna have testing. You're not gonna see. It go down because it's like people already infected. Those infections will still be coming up, even though nobody knew will be getting infected. The incubation periods and things of that nature. So it's like, it's just better to be safe for the whole season. And it's going to stink because, being away from your families, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. And it's like, they got mad at Brown from Boston. You make millions of dollars. He's human. God, there you go, treating black people like animals again. Let's go there.
Yeah.
He's a basketball player, but he has a family.
Exactly.
And he misses them.
He's entitled to that.
He's entitled to that. That's why he's making the money for the family. So you don't get to enjoy them. That's the fruits of his labor.
Yep.
So those are things to consider. Who, immediate family, are they coming into the bubble? Like they didn't put a limit on kids, but then that's a whole nother dynamic.
Right.
And so it's the NBA looked at it because their thing is very thorough.
So
but these are the things you got to consider.
I'm with you on building courts. So you know what they'll probably have to do? They'll probably have to do something where you like have like these incubator type of you have like a building incubator type of court thing. So it's kind of like an actual tent kind of thing, and then you have the hard floors for the court and stuff like that. That might be the quickest solution, right? That they might be able to build for several courts, because
those can survive. Those survive weather,
right?
You get the heavy duty ones, right? And then when the playoffs come. Yeah, you're eliminated, and then you're back to the number of courts that you already have, like they're handling it now.
Right.
Or you could leave 1-2 of those extra up, so you could actually have games at the same time on different channels, like you usually do.
Yeah, and that's more than likely what they're gonna have to do. So they would have to build a certain number of courts to have several games happen around the same time. Because right now, they have to wait until a game ends before they can get on the court. Because you just got that one.
It's true.
There's like two, and then one of the buildings had a leak, and it wasn't even raining. Right, because there's only like a couple of courts.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. It's like, with that, where do you want to do it? Because it's like, okay, do we have a spot in Cali?
Right.
You want the best weather. You're in hurricane land down there.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard.
Right. Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Miami would have that same. So they could, well, because they tried to discuss a division bubble. So you would have like a Atlantic division bubble. So everybody would play in New York, who's in the Atlantic division or something like that, or the Pacific
if
division.
they do that,
Yeah.
okay, then you could. What you would do is like division bubble. The schedule would be this: you play all your division games,
Yeah.
and then you'll have to come to the big bubble to play all your cross games.
Right.
Or you switch bubbles. You go from bubble to bubble when you do your west swing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it's like the way the travel usually is.
Yeah.
How is this going to happen? I guess if you play a team twice, I guess you do that then.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. That's probably it.
Yeah, because the schedule is going to be like that.
Yeah,
I think they should do two bubbles, Eastern and Western. That'd be easier.
Yeah.
New York has enough places where you can isolate an area. You know, there's a lot of empty apartments there. 35% of the apartments in New York are empty, right?
Yeah, they're gonna stay empty because they're expensive.
Right, but I'm saying that that's
exactly.
That's NBA. That's the NBA headquarters.
Yeah,
Utilize that.
Yeah,
and then within those blocks, make a bubble where that you do that, and then where you play, you have two major arenas. So the whole thing is, it's hard to do that in New York because of how the city is.
It is.
Stuff is like when you come out the garden, you don't see the whole building. It's in between buildings and stuff.
Exactly.
So everything's integrated together. Like people who don't go to New York don't understand that.
No, they
it's
don't.
not
They don't.
separate.
Right.
The city's integrated. Like my NYU campus, when I went there, is a building here, then something else. Then you go down to the next building, might be 2 blocks down.
Yeah.
For certain things. Or
this is true.
Like the library and Tisch and all that stuff is close, but then some places you got a little break, and then you go down there to the next building. It's inside of the city. All of that's integrated together. So New York might not even be the spot you want to do. You may be thinking somewhere like the Meadowlands where you could put up something or where you got gyms.
Yeah, you can play in Jersey.
Like, right. It's like, some places where they got football practice facilities where it's high enough to play basketball in, and you could do multiple courts.
It'd be very interesting to see how they do this. I mean, because you can't really do arenas yet with crowds quite yet, unless there's going to be a rule that we're going to see within the next few months. But I don't know. And then, like you were saying about NFL, the verdict is still out on the NFL. What the heck they're going to do?
Right, and then the whole thing is eliminating travel.
Yeah.
Travel is the easiest way to get exposed, and that's what the NBA was smart about.
Yeah.
They eliminated travel. Okay, to get into the bubble, okay, you could go home, be with your families when you're eliminated. To get in the bubble, 7 negative tests, 4 days of quarantine. That's why everybody was in the hotels not seeing each other, and then they practiced. Because you got to make sure everyone is clean. And so once you're in the bubble, see, that's the whole thing about going bubble to bubble, then the quarantine rules come into effect. They're going to have to go there, 7 negative tests, 4 days before they play again, That's why I said a single bubble is going to have to be the solution. And then you could do a regular schedule like you do, where someone's taking a West Coast swing and stuff, Because number one, you're going to need it because the individual markets need to carry their individual market games. Otherwise, the NBA league pass is useless.
Right. See?
Yeah.
There's a lot of money. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, man.
And we shall see. We're going to get up out of here. Yo, Zacchaeus, any last words before we go?
No. We can just keep watching the NBA, and we can talk. We got some more in store for everybody. That's all, man. You can reach me at Zacchaeus B73. Also, you can reach me on Twitter at Wayne Backus 2 on Twitter. Also on Instagram, Zach. One on Instagram, yeah, Zacchaeus B73 on Instagram, Facebook, yeah.
All right, Cinema. Any closing remarks?
Nah, we good.
All right.
So I'll just give my locations.
Go ahead.
Instagram, Cinemascapes and Cinemascapes Music, Cinemascapes Gaming as well if you're into that. Twitter, Cinemascapes. That's the only thing I got on Twitter. I barely do Twitter. But if you hit me up, I will reply. I check it. But, I don't get traffic there. Instagram's my thing. Facebook, Cinemascapes Music is the link. And Twitch, Cinemascapes, if you're into that.
Yeah. All right. I don't have any last words, but I'll give an announcement for next week's episode. Y'all can get me at the Fifth General Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Next week we'll be talking about Nas's new album, King's Disease.
Yes.
So I'll just read the track list off, just a little preview. King's Disease, number 1, Blue Benz. 2, 3. Track 3, Car 85 featuring Charlie Wilson. Track 4, Ultra Black featuring Hit Boy. Ultra Black was the single that already got leaked. Next track, 27 Summers. Next one is Replace Me featuring Big Sean and Don Toliver. Next track, Till the War Is Won featuring Lil Durk. That's an interesting collabo.
I can't wait to hear that.
Next track, All Bad featuring Anderson .Paak.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. I think that's going to be creative. Anderson .Paak and Nas, that'd be interesting. Next track, The Definition featuring Brucey B.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a little throwback there. And I'm excited for this track. This next one, Full Circle featuring The Firm Reunion, AZ, Foxy Brown, and Cormega. All original members.
All right.
Yeah.
That could be hot. Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Okay.
Next track, 10 Points, and the last album track is The Cure. Got about 12 there, and then we got a bonus track called Spicy, featuring Viviano Foreign and ASAP Ferg of
and we'll see who has that based on distribution.
Yeah. Well, this is Nas's Mass Appeal and Def Jam deal, so
but you know how it is. Somebody might have a deal with Apple, might have to go to Spotify to listen.
Oh, I know what you mean. You're saying like who's gonna have it first?
The bonus tracks, not the album tracks.
Yeah. Well,
because we'll see if there's more bonus tracks around too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, that
we'll
might
know Friday.
Yeah, we'll know Friday exactly.
Yeah.
And that'll be before we. So
exactly.
So something good to look forward to.
Something good to look forward to, definitely. Oh yeah.
So our episodes are published every Friday, so the album will be out. But for next episode, we'll be able to give our review. For those who listen, because they're gonna be listening Friday tomorrow. We talking about it's out. Well, we pre-record our episodes.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get up out of here. Zacchaeus, Cinemascapes, and the Fifth General signing off. We'll see y'all next episode.
Peace.
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 Yeah, y'all.